I now invite Ms. Alessandra Nilo, the Troika member C20 2023 from Brazil, to share her thoughts with the gathering.
Obrigada, which is thank you in Portuguese. Namaste, Holiness, Ama, dear Ambassador Vijay, Troika and International Steering Committee members, and all honorable panelists. It is an honor to be here, and I respectfully salute all eminent persons of these sessions, the organizers behind the scenes, and the citizens of Nagpur for organizing this Inception conference. And I thank you, the presence of the all audience here. And also, I would like to thank you for warmly welcome all of us from C20, particularly from international community in India. I really feel embraced by your love and attention. Thank you very much. As it was said, our work as civil society is extremely important for the present and the future of humanity. Yes, we are the light. And since the beginning of the C20 process, global and local organized civil society have suggested several ways of addressing the world's challenges and shortfalls. We must also always remember that together the G20 countries could solve most of the challenges we face. It is a fact that we reached a tipping point in history with humanity sickened by hunger, extreme poverty, and with our planet suffering from the excess of the greed and from the lack of solidarity and lack of compassion that adults and young people in many places while we are talking here are facing the horrible, for me this is a horrible feeling of hopeless. And that's why we are here, to show that our civilization path can be different and that the world can be a fair place to live in. So through C20 process, we have been working tireless to put forward solutions such as those presented this morning by the working groups, aiming to defend public goods and the nature, and most of all, putting forward recommendations to implement our dream, but not only our dream, our right to one day to live in a more symmetric society without this insulting economic inequality we see between the G20 countries and within the G20 countries. So our role as civil society organizations from C20 is to engage and meet with G20 ministers and Sherpas year after year to show that we don't lack solutions or formal commitment. There are no lack of financial resources capable of solving our pressing problems, including the climate emergency and this unacceptable level of inequality before us. In the past decade, the G20 countries have signed many progressive commitments in multilateral bodies, agreeing on solutions to enhance the North-South cooperation, to eradicate poverty and hunger, to promote gender equality, to guarantee access to education, to health, including to sexual reproductive health and rights to all people. They committed to implement right-based approaches while protecting the environment. They agree on defending science, including through transfer of technology. And after all, they committed to ensure that our rights will fit in their public budgets. So it is concerning that at this moment, with the SDGs commitments, Paris Climate Agreement, Addis Ababa Action Agenda, Busan platform have either been ignored or slowly implemented, it indicates that our big challenge perhaps is that the world is lacking leaders truly committed to take the necessary steps to implement what their states at the multilateral level have signed, included through the G20 communiques. So perhaps before new agreements and new communiques, we need to implement what was agreed. So implementation is the key word for us. For that, it's key to remind G20 that effective responses to lead us to a life with dignity we deserve will only be possible with the meaningful engagement of an independent and proactive civil society. I think I'm saying that with a little bit of trauma because, as you know, in the past years, we suffered in Brazil with a government that treated civil society like enemies, that tried to silence our voices through violent acts. We are happy that this repressive government was not re-elected because we know from evidence that peace, harmony, social justice can only be achieved through truly democratic systems. Finally, I would like to say that I really hope that the C20's recommendations will inspire the G20 leaders to use their political weight and finance structures to try and revert the multiple crises we face, which require urgent and bold response. We hope that by some of the proposals are related to review the outcome of public-private partnerships and private finance first approach. We need to strengthen the international cooperation for universal social protection and climate resilience by comprehensively addressing tax havens, implementing wealth tax and digital tax, tackling tax abuse by multinational corporations and other illicit financial flows through a universal intergovernmental process, particularly supporting the UN Tax Convention. We also would like to see a public credit rating agency created to counterbalance the oligopoly power of the current state of player in this sector. To conclude, I would like to reaffirm my hope in these recommendations that we put forward and my faith in our collaborative work, because only together can the global civil society move the G20 countries towards a new finance architecture that works for all people and for the planet, using the current technology and financial resources to build a democratic, peaceful, and sustainable world where no one is left behind, as stated by the 2030 Agenda. As a member of the C20 Troika, I have an immense responsibility in contributing to the work in India, while paving the way to the C20 process in Brazil next year. So please also receive our love, and knowing that together with the Brazilian Association of NGOs, ABONG, present here, Justice will be looking forward to meeting all of you next year in Brazil. Thank you very much.